Well, I know it's been a long time since I've go ahead and displayed this stuff, but you know what? After weeks and talks of wondering if I was ever going to do it again, bam! I reappear! Welcome once again to another edition of the Main Event Talk. My name, for those that don't know, is Furman Torres, a.k.a. the Main Event Player, the Super C. Right back on the show. I know it's been a long time since I've talked. I've recently put out another Main Event Talk, which has not been displayed on YouTube yet. So if you guys had a chance to see that one was basically the talk about the return of Brock Lesnar, the whole deal with WrestleMania 28, the whole deal with, The Rock and John Cena, The Undertaker, and Triple H, and so forth. So that, if you guys saw that already, then you know what's going on. That one happened just a few weeks ago, okay? Now this is a new Main Event Talk. It's a new Main Event Talk happening right now. So it's all set and ready to go. Now, before I get into my Main Event Talk, before I can get into my shout-outs and so forth, now I like to kind of explain the reason why I have not been showing up on my Main Event Talks. Now, there has been a lot of stuff going on my Facebook and on my Twitter. If you guys have been reading towards it, you can look into twitter.com/@maineventplayer. You can also look into stuff on Facebook, facebook.com/maineventplayer. I'm going through a change in my life that is, that to a lot of people is long overdue. Now, there's a few select people that know what this change is about, but nothing is official just yet. Nothing official at all. I've done some paperwork. I did a drug test recently, and I did, some other stuff that, is something I've never done before. But let's just say that very, very soon my life is going to go through an alternate change. And it's a change that, I've been waiting to do for a long time, and, I just didn't think it was going to come up to it. Yeah, it's been a while since, all this has come up. But nonetheless, I'm waiting on one final result. And hopefully once this final result comes in, then it'll be official, it'll be done, and I don't have to deal with it anymore, and so forth. I'm not going to get into much detail about it, but let's just say what I'm going to do next will change my life forever, and it's going to be a whole different setting for me. So there may be times where I'll do my Main Event Talks, and there may be times where I don't do my Main Event Talks. It's not going to be a weekly thing. It's a big change. And I promise my best friend, Stephanie Gonzalez, who's watching this right now, I promise her that she'll be the first one to know about this, and she will. And I promise that. You know it, Steph, if you're watching this right now. Mwah. Now, let's get into the Main Event Talk, if you don't mind. A big shout out to all the members of the Main Event Posse, Netbanger Incorporated, that are watching this right now. As I said, a shout out to Stephanie. Hope you had a great time and everything, and glad that you're back. That's all I can tell you there. A big shout out to all my friends at Kelsey Friends on Facebook.com. Kelsey Friends to Kelsey S. Rogers, who I believe did an exam and I think did well for herself. Congratulations to her. And I hope whatever happens in, I guess you got another exam coming up. I hope you pass that. I hope you do well. Study as hard as you can, Kels. We're all believing in you. All myself and Trisha. Hello. Trisha. What's going on there? To Brian. To, let's see, Rebecca. I haven't seen much Rebecca on Kelsey's Friends there that much anymore. I know there were a few others that are pretty new to the game. So here's how it goes. To all of Kelsey's friends that are a part of this Facebook group, here's how it goes. I'm one of the ambassadors, alongside administrators, or however it goes, alongside with Kelsey S. Rogers and a few others. And there have been a few people, and I wanted to get this one little subject up on Kelsey Friends. There's a lot of these girls, or a lot of these women. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind a beautiful woman as much as any other guy that shows up on Kelsey's Friends. But here's the thing. In this group, it's quite simple. You got to be cool. You got to be right. And you can't act like an asshole or an obnoxious cretin. And more importantly, you can't be a fake. That's right. In Facebook, it's hard to really tell who's really what and everything. You know how you go to Facebook and everything and you always get like one person here, one person there, and they're both the same, but you can't tell who's the real one, So you either report this fake, report that fake, and everything. The thing about Facebook is there's too many fakes. I mean, there's some that are the real deal, and you know who the real deal is. Certainly no question about that. But when you got like one person that's got 90 million accounts and we don't know who the real person is, then apparently this person has issues. So it's a real big symbol, especially with superstars like, you know, you get all these guys, you know, whether it's wrestling stars or whether it's rock stars or any of those people, most of them had Facebook pages, and that is the only way you can get the real deal out of them. One of the things I like about Twitter, and this is one part that is true, when you go to Twitter, you can actually have the real superstar in your hands. That's right. Like, in other words, you can tweet Hulk Hogan and he'll report to you. He won't get to you right away, but he'll get to you as soon as he can. Much like LeBron James. He could go ahead and, you know, you could tweet him and he could respond to you. He won't respond to all, but he'll respond to some. Same thing with the Kobe Bryants, the same thing with the Dirk Nowinskis, the same things with all the other stars. You know, you got Jeff Hardy, you got Hulk Hogan, you got The Rock, you got John Cena. There are so many. You got Chris Brown, you got others that have Twitters, and those are the real deal. Facebook, most of them don't really have a Facebook, and that's the truth, you know? So, the whole explanation I'm talking about as far as Kelsey Friends goes, if you're in this group, you see, I usually don't allow anybody in the group unless I get approval from everybody else. I mean, I've done it one time. I let somebody in, and apparently the person was a jerk, and he was out. It was simple as that. So, it's like this. To all the Kelsey's friends, especially the new ones that are here, if you're here to be cool, if you're here to be right, if you're here to be, you know, cool with everybody else, that's fine. But here's the thing. Don't act like a jerk. Don't act like an asshole, or we will kick you out personally. It's like that, all right? That's the way it goes on Kelsey's Friends. And we always have these little groups that go on Facebook, right? Every single one of them. Anyways, before the main event gets into what I need to talk about, I want to get into, you probably have noticed something in my hands for the past few minutes. And I've been promising these guys that I was going to go ahead and, you know, show them. And I'm going to do it right now. And it goes like this. Look at the CD in my hand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shattered Sun. This is a new group that's going on in Corpus Christi right now. This group has been out for quite a while right now. I know these guys have played with Parawickle Massacre a while back, and they got some great. The CD is fucking the shit, I tell you. I got this personally from Marcos himself, the singer. And, you know, I got to tell you something. This CD's a fucking shit. If you've seen their video on YouTube for the song Any Means, you've got to hear it. It's fucking badass. I mean, you know, the funny thing was, I didn't even know that video existed. I mean, because I knew they had a video out, but I've never heard the song. But when I heard this CD and when I heard the song, oh my God, it was fucking badass. But not just Any Means Necessary. Any Means is a badass song. Confessions is a pretty good song as well. Overcome, that one's a good one too. You got to hear them live in living color. They have played over at Theo's a few times. I believe they played over at, I believe it's the House of Rock as well. If you guys have never heard these guys, trust me, these guys, they've, I know Marcos personally has told me that they want to reach up to the level of the Parawickle Massacre. And personally to me, and I know a lot of people will agree on this when I say, you know what, Marcos, you and the guys have already reached up to that level. You're there with them. You know, because you guys are talented, you guys have got a lot of potential to attract a lot of people with this CD. You know, I'm not sure how many CDs you have. This is probably your only one. You may have made a few demos. I don't know. I haven't heard it. But as you know, and most guys know, I'm an individual that likes to listen to stuff like Shattered Sun. And like another band, This Dying Dream, they got a CD. They, you know, I haven't shown it yet, you know, probably have it in the car somewhere. There's also others, you know, there's Killamora. I haven't heard much of the Labeling Theory, and I don't know what's up with my good friend Rene Hernandez. He's not on Facebook, but I know he's got to be watching this somewhere. So Rene, I don't know what happened to you, and and all of us are wondering where you're at, all right? And more importantly, to Matt Wood, who's probably watching this also, we need to hear some Labeling Theory, goddammit. I had a chance to hear it the other day when I was on my way to work, okay? I must commit to the lie, okay? That's it. And I may go on a SoCal high later on after this whole show is over. But nonetheless, you know, Shattered Sun, badass CD, get it. It's in stores now at all retails everywhere. Well, not really, but you can find these guys. You can also find them on Facebook.com/ShatteredSun.